So this is a Google model. Again, it's a subscription model, so unfortunately it's not free. But this is called Notebook LM. And now I'm going to start the audio.
Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring the exciting world of enhanced geothermal systems, or EGS for short. And we're going to be looking at why so many folks are looking at Latin America, especially Central America, as a potential hotspot for this technology.
Yeah, it's definitely a region that's ripe with possibility.
Now, some of our listeners might be thinking, geothermal, isn't that like, those hot springs you see in Iceland? And yeah, you'd be right, that's traditional geothermal. But EGS is a bit different. It's about tapping into the heat that's stored deep within the earth, even in places where there aren't those natural hot water reservoirs.
You can think of it this way. Instead of finding existing geothermal resources, we're creating our own by drilling deep down into hot, dry rocks and then fracturing them to create pathways for water to circulate.
So we're essentially mimicking nature's process.
I'm going
Precisely.
to join this
We inject
conversation
water
by
into
hitting
these
the join
fractured
button,
rocks. The
raising my
water
hand.
heats up from the... Oh, hey, welcome. What's up?
So I want you to tell me how this relates to El Salvador specifically.
Did it capture your audio? Maybe
That's
not.
a great question.
Oh,
I'm
there
glad
you
you
go.
asked.
It sounds like you're wondering how EGS relates to the bigger picture.
Yeah, what's the point of all this? Well, EGS is this really interesting way we found to make clean energy.
Exactly. And to really understand it, we need to think about it in context of our energy needs.
You see, we're talking about mimicking nature to create a removal resource. Like, we're essentially making...
Okay, stop there and tell me specifically how this relates to El Salvador. What opportunities do we have in El Salvador?
Absolutely. It's great you're thinking about a specific country. Let's zoom in on El Salvador.
Yes, El Salvador is a fascinating case study, especially when we look at how it's approaching EGS.
Like we were saying, EGS can help with energy independence and security. Well, this is a really important point for El Salvador.
Indeed. And as a nation that's very dependent on imported fossil fuels, they're really looking to EGS for solutions.
And it's not just about reducing reliance on fossil fuels either. El Salvador has some very ambitious plans.
What's really interesting is how they want to use their geothermal resources for things beyond just electricity generation.
Wow. That's incredible. So, one of the things that I realized is that, I learn in different types of ways, right? So sometimes I'll read a book. Sometimes I'll read a book and listen to the book, or sometimes I'll just listen to a book. But this is interactive, allows you in real time to listen to a conversation, absorb the information that way, and also allows you to interact with the information too.
That's, to me, that's pretty impressive, is that I can be listening to this dialogue between two people, two experts, maybe. We can call them experts. And then I can raise my hand and ask my own questions and then get a response. So this could continue throughout the whole. This is about a 15-minute long podcast, if you will. It's been created, but I can extend it by simply continuing to ask questions.
It's interesting too how they have like human tones and inflections in their voice and their pauses. Everything is there to mimic like an actual human conversation.
So this is in beta, which means that it's English only right now, but their roadmap is they're going to make it available in any language. It can understand and read in any language, so it can do an automatic translation. So it can listen in Spanish, translate to English, or vice versa, listen in English, translate to Spanish. So again, this is for me, this is a way that I see AI transforming education in general. Our institutions, our educational institutions, are not ready for this.
Okay, all right. We'll go here a little bit more because I do have some questions as far as like the meaning crisis that I see on the horizon, right? If AI is taking the jobs of educators, if robots are being able to do all types of rudimentary tasks, what's going to give people purpose? What's going to give people meaning now in the future if everything is outsourced to AI and robotics?
Okay. I'm of a particular age. And And most of my peers, I belong to a country club, play golf. Most of my peers who I hang around with are what they call retired. Yeah. When I try to explain to them, because they all know that my wealth today, my generational wealth, is in Bitcoin. And so what I try to explain to them is, why do I get up in the morning and go to work and do this? Why do I teach? Why do I travel the world? Why do I spend time in China? Why do I spend time here in El Salvador? Why do I spend time in, wherever I go? It's because my choices in the morning when I wake up, I get to do what I want to do. I don't have a job that I have to report to. I mean, even the university, I do what I want to do. I give them the resources or the materials or the statements that they need, to give me license to do this. But I essentially do what I want to do every day. I'm free. And when we talk about Bitcoin as freedom money, this is exactly what we mean.